Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you Friday, October the 7th. The year's 2022. Let's talk trading. It's time for the weekly wrap-up, and it's NFP Day. As always, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And taking a look at the week, you can see we had run up, and now we're running back down. We're 72 pips below the weekly open, and only 5 off the low. And we have only two pairs that have not filled the gap, even though the New Zealand US dollar is really close, less than a pip away. Okay, for the opening range for the week, you can see we're pretty much right at that low, getting ready to make new weekly lows as I speak. For the month, you can see we are also 74 pips below since the monthly and weekly open were the same. For the year, we're 2,438 pips below the yearly open. On the daily, we had an inside bar 8 days ago, and we're way out of that range. This really didn't have many inside bars to choose from this week across the FOREX pairs that we track. We see on NFP Day, you can see we've got, at least 10 pairs above 100 pips in range. The pound clocking in at 138 at the moment. The big gainers, the pound New Zealand at 194, big mover. Actually, the pound New Zealand's actually gained. It's 37 pips above the open. All the rest of them are down. And looking at the buy zone, there's some opportunities early this morning to take advantage. So let's see, this is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Walmart and I were on the phone when this happened. It was funny. I usually look at the last two candles right before NFP, and they ran them up, and I said, Walmart, I think they're going to slam this thing. And no sooner than I got the words out of my mouth, they slammed it down. It was huge, a huge move. But that's just from watching these NFP days, how price moves. It's almost always a fake out right before the announcement. So if they want to run it down, they'll run it up a bit and then they'll smash it. Or if they want to run it up, they'll tank it a little bit and then they'll it'll take off like a rocket. But you can see we're testing this area third time, so maybe it'll crack. It's already cracked through down to 86. Maybe it'll go further. Usually it's 95, 90. Then 75, 60, 40, 25. That's usually where price likes to consolidate. And I was noticing something earlier today. I was looking at how many times it went through the 40 level. So you can see here, if we bring the cursor down to, well, right here, 1140, you come looking left here, you see it bounce through there, it bounced through here. Just how many times it hits that 40 level. I'll show it to you on a 1-minute chart when we go through. It's even more pronounced. Bambino Flex Indicator said to go short at the pivot. The pivot trading plan said go short at the pivot. And if you short at the pivot at 12.17 and you held on to that trade, you were a very happy camper. Missed pivots for the month. We've already taken out the October pivot just now, it looks like. For the weekly, we've missed it. And for the daily, we took it out. So there's still a daily missed pivot. So we've got one left over from September. And then the other pivots are all above. So we'll see maybe if he'll take out this pivot here. And it's 90 some pips away at the moment. Oh, there was a trader that wanted the frequency distribution indicator, and I've been including that in just about each year of the donational. So if you're listening, even though I did reply to your email, now the 2022 has the latest and greatest frequency distribution, um, and the 2020s have some analysis like the smart ranges, and then the 2017 is when I really got into it, where we have the price travel analyzer and the real time price analyzer. So I'm not really sure how deep you wanted to get into running statistics, but that hopefully that'll answer your question or let you figure out, because you asked for the 2020s, but I just want to double check and make sure. So you can see in and out of the lower wick zone. Once again, trading the previous day's open, that cross below would have paid off 1, 2, 3, 4 times this morning. Looking at the weekly range, 410, not bad in the 75 percentile. The previous 2 weeks were in the 6 and 8, 600s, 800s. So, but still, that's respectable range. Definitely enough pips for you to make profit. You see, we broke out by 261. We didn't go anywhere near the previous week's low. The range, high minus close, 405. So if you traded that weekly rat zone, you were rewarded handsomely. Right now, you're in the lower rat zone, only 6 pips off the bottom. Weekly range, open the low, 77. So shorting out of the buy zone paid off. High minus open, 334. So going long through the buy zone paid off, the weekly buy zone. So those traders were also rewarded. Looking at the wall mall charts here, you can see with these ranges of over 30 for like the past 5 hours, you could definitely made money just trading H1 candle color at the line. Not hard to do. And here is that 1140 line once again. So in the 40s is I always like to call that the launch pad. You can see here there was a launch here, came down, touched it, and launched. It went through it, came back and launched. It went through it, came back and launched. There was just that was kind of a sputter right there. But even that one was good for, I think, 3. Yeah, it's good for 4 pips. You just had to be quick. And we haven't had any other launch pads. But if I squish the chart down, yesterday, right here at the 1340 line, you can see it crossed it for a nice move. It crossed it again, came down, came back up, threw it for another 20 pips. That 40 to 60, if you want to try and get the whole Megillah, was paying off. And right here, it touched 40, ran up to somewhere around 75, if I remember correctly, 77. It didn't come all the way back down, but if you, once again, trading that 40 launch pad, here there was no launch, but then it came down to the 1140 yesterday. It went through the 40, hit the 50, came back into the 40s, went all the way up almost to 90. If you held on to the next candle, you could have gotten a 90. And then earlier in today's session, it hit the 40, ran up to about the 90, came back down 40 to over, to 1220 in a couple of hours there. So the launch pad, there just seems to be something about that 40 number. I don't know why, but we just figured there could be some bank with some algorithm or some hedge fund or something that anytime it gets near the 40, they have to run it up 20 pips to the 60 or 10 pips to the 50. But I'm almost thinking, you know what? I think that might be my only trade. It's like, make it easy. Just trade the launch pad. It seems to happen every day. And even if it doesn't happen one day, oh well. But, if you sit there and you can steadily make those 20 pips on something that simple, you might as well, as I would say, milk that cow. Also here, looking at the lower high, higher low, you can see here off of that lower high, good for about 5 pips at the moment now. And one other thing I think I may have mentioned, you know, those traders that like to trade in balance, you can see here, when price takes off, it almost likes to come back and cross over that lower high one time and then take off again. So it's like you take your pips, price starts to move back, exit out the trade, and wait right here to get back on the bus or on the ship, and because usually it'll go back the other way. Of course, once again, these videos for educational purposes only, and your results may differ from mine. You might enter the trade and it'll tank on you. That's just the way it works sometimes. Year-to-date accumulated range, we haven't increased it since last month, so we're still at the 33.90 for the year-to-date accumulated. Range by month, you can see we're up to 410, so we passed the October in 2021 and 2020. So we'll just have to see what kind of range we're going to have this month. And so far this month, we are as I mentioned before, we're 65 pips below the open. And we want to look at one more, close minus year-to-date open percent, see how far we're down. We are 17.96% below. So anybody shorting the yearly open and just riding it, they can exit with almost 18% return on their money, which on the one hand it's good, but when you're trading every day, this isn't very good. It just depends on how you want to do it. I'll just put that back to the range by month. Looking here for the week, once again, this had I guess some things may have changed last week because we had a green week, but we did start the week off in the green, but with all the news announcements this week and last week, there's just been so much price action. It's just been crazy. But I don't think there's anything significant here to discuss. So, traders, let me know if you have any more questions. I'd be happy to answer them if we have to answer your questions, and Ramal and I will make a video sometimes to answer your questions. Sometimes it just seems like it's easier, or we can use the computer and make the charts and send you the videos so you can actually see what we're talking about to answer your question, because sometimes there's specific questions and sometimes they're just general questions, but I just find the video, as opposed to just typing and putting static charts out on the forums. So I hope you had a profitable NFP day and a profitable week and a profitable month so far, and I'm wishing you a fun and safe weekend. So when you come back to your trading platform next week, and I believe Monday is a bank holiday, so it's probably going to be a dead day on Monday, at least during the US session, probably be pretty dead. So like I said, fun and safe weekend, everyone. And when you come back to your trading platform, always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.